Hi there everyone. Today we're going to talk about pranksters, jokers, people who pull your leg.
But enough about Brady, let's do the archives.
By the way, I learned something new today. I learned that they literally keep quills in the Royal Society stationery cupboard.
We have to.
We'll come to that in a minute. Okay, we've got a couple of really interesting things we want to show you. And the first one is this picture here. I think that says something about a new discovery on the moon.
That's right, yes. And Sir John Herschel, the most famous astronomer of the day, turned his large telescope to the moon, and of course this is what he saw. Flying moon men, little sylvan glades there, structures, what looks like beavers in the corner here.
Yeah, moon beavers.
Moon beavers, obviously, yes. Kind of a bit of a hoax here. Herschel found it quite amusing, but it's something that was published in a newspaper. It came out in the New York Sun. This has been engraved from an alleged paper in the Royal Society of Edinburgh's journal, and it must be true, surely.
So to give this some context, Herschel's built a new big telescope. There's a lot of excitement. What's he going to find when he starts pointing this at various things in the heavens? And someone's had a joke and said, when Herschel pointed his telescope at the moon, this is what he saw. And they've put it in the newspapers. Herschel wasn't a party to this.
No, he wasn't, no. And no, he wasn't upset. He just thought it was slightly amusing, yeah.
Of course, the moon actually looks like this. Now, the next thing we're going to show you has been described as irresponsible. I was looking through the card archive looking for interesting stories for us, and I came across this one, and it described an irresponsible thing that happened. Let me set the scene. The year is 1834, and I think more than one newspaper ran a brief report about a puzzle, a physical phenomenon that was unsolved, and they reported that the Royal Society would award anyone who could solve this riddle a medal and 100 guineas. That's a lot of money?
It's a lot of money, yeah.
Okay. And what happened? This is what happened. The Royal Society got a boatload of letters from people trying to solve the puzzle, trying to claim the money and trying to get that medal. One person, fortunately for us, actually cut out and stuck the article from the Sheffield Mercury to their letter, so we know exactly what the papers were reporting. Mm-hmm. It's entitled Curious Fact. Cut a couple of cards, each into a circle of about 2 inches in diameter. Perforate one of these at the centre and fix it on the top of a tube, say a common quill. Make the other card ever so little concave and place it over the first, the orifice of the tube being thus directly under and almost in contact with the upper card. Try to blow off the upper card. You will find it impossible. We understand that the cause that counteracts the effects at first expected at this singular phenomenon has lately puzzled all the members of the Royal Society. A medal and 100 guineas are said to be the reward of a successful discoverer. We recommend the ingenious reader to find it out. So they're trading on the good name of the Royal Society.
They are, yes.
We've used call slips here from the library, which are used to retrieve documents. Mm-hmm. We've used the end of a quill. Why do you have quills in the stationery cupboard?
We need to sign things, Brady.
With quills?
Yeah.
Where do you buy quills? Staples?
You buy them at quill shops.
Quill shops, yeah. Of course. Okay, so here's the experiment. I'll put this one on top. And apparently we now can't blow this off, which is counterintuitive. I mean, you can't really get it off. I mean, I tipped it then, but... Whatever.
There you go.
All right, there we go. There's the experiment. There's about 25 letters here. We're not going to go through all of them, but they are really interesting. You get some that are beautifully written. They look very scholarly and detailed. Other ones look like they were written by your average punter, as the newspaper man would call them.
Yep. Well, if you're going to write to the Royal Society, you should at least be neat, I think. Oh, here we go. This is a good drawing.
This person seems to have done a little diagram of the airflow that they believe is happening in the concave section. They've divided it into quarters. They've done all sorts. Someone in Portsmouth has found out about it. That's quite away from Sheffield. We can still see the sealing wax that was used on the letter. This person went to town. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 pages.
He wanted to be a fellow, didn't he?
John Coombs, 25 pages of mainly illegible handwriting. I don't know what to say to that. This one comes from someone who is a professor of mathematics at the Washington Institute in New York.
13th Street, we want to hear from you if you live nearby.
We've got angles being referred to here. This is the real deal, Keith.
Yeah. So this is to the President and Committee of the Royal Society of London. Gentlemen, I am but a plain, blunt man, he says, who's never had the advantage of a philosophical education.
But sometimes taking amusement in trying my hand at simple experiments.
Was this you?
This is a man after my own heart. This is one of my favourites.
Yeah. The artistic quality is pretty good here.
Despite their terrible picture, this person's actually done some good science there by the looks of it.
Yeah, so they're clearly expecting these to be engraved up and published in the Philosophical Transactions.
Okay, Keith, so here we have the cover letter for John Coombs' 25-page epic. What's he said in his cover letter here?
It's just explaining why he's sending this. He's seen this thing in the papers, and he says, I have taken the liberty of forwarding for your perusal and consideration the enclosed hasty production. And that's a 25-page epic that he's written there.
Okay, but it seems John Coombs wasn't happy leaving it at that, because 4 days later, he writes another letter to the Society. But attached to John Coombs' second letter is something very interesting. This is the only evidence we've found so far of the Royal Society replying to any of this.
Yeah, so this is a copy, a pressure copy made from the original letter, which the author, Davies Gilbert here, who becomes president of the Royal Society, writes back to John Coombs.
And basically Gilbert does hint at the fact that there has been some research in this area before. We don't understand why the newspapers have picked up on it years and years later.
Yes.
But then he also breaks the crushing news.
That's right. So the crushing news is that the Royal Society has never made the offer of a reward.
But at least Coombs got a reply. I don't know if all these other people did.
Well, getting a reply from somebody who is a famous scientist and a president of the Royal Society, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But this is a great era for the hoax. I mean, these two things are just a year apart. It's about the same time that Edgar Allan Poe is writing about his balloon hoax. So it seems to be a period for it. And in a way, it's quite joyful, I think. We
don't know if the Royal Society had to print some kind of clarification, or they ignored it, or they replied. We don't know what happened, do we?
We don't know, but they clearly didn't award the 100 guineas and the medal.
They didn't. And as I said, on the Royal Society catalogue card, this was described as irresponsible. So they clearly weren't happy about it. But we love it. We've got letters because of a hoax. We've got men on the moon.
What's not to like?
So this is a very nice object. Now, Steve, I have the impression you think you know what this is.
This has got to be a Davy lamp.
This is it a Davy lamp?
It is a Davy lamp, yes. This is one made by Humphrey Davy.
Made by Davy.
That's incredible.
So it's not the full lamp, it's a gauze, as you can see, and there's some evidence that there's a wick in there.